Game's not on. I don't have a controller. JJ, what is this stuff?
This is a Wii U. Is that the correct answer?
Is Wii U the streaming channel that's squeaky clean and we talk about mission stuff?
Oh no, that's tiesn'tags.
Oh, okay. We have no intro. We just kind of say random junk every time we start an episode, and we have a guest today. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Yep, my name is Jacob. I'm living here in Utah, and we're gonna play some games today.
That's right. So what missions did you serve in?
So I served in the California Carlsbad mission. It actually doesn't exist anymore.
Okay.
It's now called the Newport Beach mission, combined with Irvine mostly, with some parts going to other missions. But yeah, I knew it as the Carlsbad mission, but most people, if they are serving now, would be the Newport Beach. Yeah.
Then does that mean you had Disney in your mission, or were you right next to it?
No, I had Legoland, which is way cooler. Yeah. Yeah, Disneyland is way north. That's, I think, the Anaheim mission. But yeah, there's so many missions in California, honestly. Like, I was surprised like how many just in that southern part of the state there are.
So what language were you speaking?
I spoke in the Spanish language.
Was that the majority of your mission, or was there a lot of English in there too?
So I was technically all Spanish the whole time.
Okay.
There was lots of guys that they would get taken and they'd be put into English work, either because they were called into a zone leader position or assistant or something like that. But no, I got to stay in Spanish the whole time.
All right.
So yeah.
Well, thank you for being our guest. I'm going to introduce our game because it's hard to tell from that menu screen. This is Nintendoland. I'm one of the 5 people that purchased a Wii U, and I think Nintendoland is like one of the best multiplayer games there ever was. Fight me if you disagree.
I think that's the only way to introduce the Wii U.
I mean,
the 5 people.
No one else got it. Everyone that I met who bought a Wii U bought it for one specific game and then never touched it for anything else.
When did it come out?
2014.
Okay.
I think.
No, it would have been earlier than that, because Switch came out 2017.
Right.
It did not have a long life.
It didn't have a long life, but it was more. It had to have been more than 3 years, because you got to give it at least a year and a half before you know it's a failure.
2012.
I think 2012 is correct. Yeah, it was the end of 2012.
Because I got it. Yeah, I think that was it. Yeah, the only other people I met that had a Wii U got it for Smash Bros. Or for Monster Hunter.
Oh, okay.
But I got it for Nintendoland. Have either of you ever played this game?
I've never played Nintendo Land, no.
JJ?
I have played it with you.
You did?
Yeah.
I believe you. I've show this game to everybody, but...
It was like way back in 2020.
Okay.
You had me and my wife over for dinner and we played this.
Really?
And it was one of the first video games my wife ever played, and she's not big into that sort of stuff.
Yeah, I've gotten so many people to play this game that like you'd never think. Like my in-laws, like they don't touch video games, but I showed them this and they're like, every once in a while when we go over, it's like, do you have that one game that has the candy and stuff? I don't know. I'll show you.
It's to the Wii U what Wii Sports was to the Wii.
Pretty much. It's just like
a whole lot less attractive if you don't know what it is.
Yeah. So let me show you something that will make everyone looking at the TV screen motion sick. But like, it's like, hey, look, the gamepad has gyroscope stuff. Whoa, it looks terrifying on the TV screen, but the gamepad, it makes sense.
Right.
So it's the Wii U tech demo. All the games on the top row are multiplayer. Ones on the right are competitive. Ones on the left are co-op. Why don't you guys decide on which one you might want to do?
Oh, I know exactly which one is on my mind.
What one?
It's the Mario one.
Mario Chase?
Yeah.
That's probably a good one to start, just so what this can do.
Oh,
So
okay.
that's
Nice.
it. That is the whole game. So this one doesn't need the motion plus. I have a lovely Wii remote that dies and can only be revived by clicking the sync button. While I'm getting this set up and waiting, troubleshooting whatever's going on here. Is there anything else you'd like to share about your mission?
It's really small. You could go from the north end to the south end in probably about 40 minutes without traffic. So, I mean, that's kind of normal for some missions like that are smaller. Like, I don't know. I'm sure here in Utah, like you can get pretty far from one mission to the other in a short amount of time. very big kind of wealth gap, I guess you could say. Like you'd be in one really wealthy area, and then you'd be in an area where there wouldn't be very much wealth at all. And so I really felt like I could get a decent kind of gauge of, you know, people who are well off, and then people who are a little more humble and willing to accept the gospel in their lives. And so
Okay, so yeah, your controls are just to his tackle, D-pad to move.
okay.
So you can't see my screen. I'm Mario right now. I'm hiding somewhere in the map, trying to run away from you guys. At the bottom of your screen, you'll see how many yards away from you I am. So you and JJ have to talk to each other, try to figure out based on that where I am. And you can communicate by saying like what color on the map I could be in.
Okay.
In the mission, we call this tracking.
Right.
So what was it like for you chasing down people? What was like? How would you go contacting? Would you knock doors, or would you do something different?
So we would knock doors, but not kind of like in a blind way. We would go in, and we would have like maybe someone who we were looking for. Okay, and we wouldn't like just go and just be like, you know, I think we're gonna spend the next half an hour just knocking on a bunch of random doors. We did do. Oh, I see him right here.
Oh shoot!
He's right there.
Still.
And then is there any way to dash with this or anything?
Nope,
or
it's just
a dive.
I think we're the same
He's
speed.
just
Okay.
Oh, you see him.
Yeah. I'll keep going around. And so we would be running to like catch people, like, you know, because we did have a certain amount of people that we would like to talk to in a day. We would call it a standard of excellence, SOE. I don't know if they could use that whenever you guys have served, but
Yes.
yeah. And so we would be looking to hit that.
Oh my gosh.
In my first area, it was pretty easy to talk to people, but not a whole lot of people that I could teach because it was a predominantly American kind of stake area, and so there was 13 wards, but only one Spanish branch, and so we would do a lot of talking to people who had been contacted by their missionaries and so forth. So.
All right.
Yeah. But my trainer definitely would chase people down like this. So I had to be, as a green, I'm like running after like, what the heck is this guy doing?
Yeah. What years did you serve?
So 2015, 2016 is when I was in the mission field. Yeah. Didn't have any technology, just those sliding phones and everything.
Yeah. Oh, you had sliding phones. We didn't even have that.
I mean, does the slide improve the quality of the phone?
Of course,
I think it does.
It slides.
Yeah. It makes that nice little click every single time you open it.
Did your mission have people compete for the top record for Snake?
For Snake? Oh, that might have been. So I had kind of a newer phone beforehand. I didn't really like play a whole lot of games or really look through that thing.
Ours had Sudoku, but I tried not to touch it.
Here, you want to be Mario?
Oh, sure, yeah. Okay, so just do yes.
Yeah, click yes and then click whatever. Do level 2.
Level 2. Okay.
This one has bridges. When you go over them, they disappear and we fall in mud.
Oh, okay. And so, yeah, old style mission. Now it's all fancy with Facebook and technology. And we did have TUEs later in my mission.
That's that driving thing,
yeah,
right?
the driving thing.
Yeah.
Which would yell at you. But those two together. Okay, got it. So, yeah.
You get a 10-second head start.
10 seconds. Oh my goodness.
So now that you're focusing intensely on running away from us, did you have any? So we asked you
He's moving to green.
brush up a little bit on funny stories. Did you have any stories related to tracking that?
I do remember a lot that my companion, my trainer, he would always, he loved talking to people. And I'm a kind of shy person. I think a lot of people are when they start their mission. But I always just felt like, man, he's like you can literally see him running away from you. Like you really think like he's gonna want to like listen to us if we're running him down or chasing him like that. So yeah, I mean, he like I kind of had to break that habit a little bit of not chasing people down after. Oh my gosh.
Oh, shoot.
Gotcha. After I'd see them kind of turn away, so I kind of got into the habit of trying to gauge if I could tell if someone would want to talk, or if I felt prompting from the spirit and things like that. But
so I'm picturing your trainer in like dead sprint.
oh yeah, like
Literally.
he loved running. And,
Really?
and that was a part of our mission too. Like it was a rule that we had to get up in the morning and run.
What?
For a half
Wow.
hour.
Really?
Yeah, it was a mission rule, and so everyone ran every morning.
Huh.
And, yep, no other form of exercise was allowed, and so we all had to run.
Wow.
And so
I had one companion convince me to go running once, and I made it like 5 minutes in. This is so dumb. We do this all day.
yeah, no, it was
Yeah.
a tough move over. And
And those guys in my mission that they bought their own bench presses and moved it with them whenever they went to a new house.
yeah, and there would be some people that would do that.
Oh, really?
But it would be like they would skip a little bit of breakfast, like they, drink a protein shake in 5 minutes and spend the other 5 minutes, working out a little more with their muscles.
In our mission, it was buying big jugs of like soda and stuff, and then turning it into whatchamacallit, barbells with concrete.
Ah, that's why you bought big jugs of soda.
Yes.
So the great things are slides. You can only go down them.
Oh, okay.
I forgot which one I am. Oh, pink. Okay. Seems like he's in yellow.
Were you guys allowed to drink any drinks that you want? Like you could walk outside with like a Coca-Cola or something like that. And
Did you have restrictions on that?
I've heard of some people having restrictions, I've heard in Utah, maybe I don't know, maybe it was just a rumor or something that they would not be allowed to be out with a Coca-Cola can or something like that.
I mean, I guess to some degree that makes sense because yeah, it's not against the word of wisdom, but there are a lot of reasons where you want to maintain an image, I guess, if there's people that might think you're hypocrites because they think that that's against the word of wisdom.
Right, and this was back I was hearing this in 2014 before they started having it at BYU and stuff like that. So, I mean, yeah, it made sense, but
yeah, no restrictions on anything like that. My mission was actually really, really lax. I had guys that would sew on second pockets of their shirts just to be funny.
really,
Yeah.
and they wouldn't get yelled at or anything.
No, they would, every once in a while, if someone went too far, they'd get a stern finger waggling or something. But no one ever got punished for any appearance things that I know of.
Wear sunglasses, or no? That's against that's the white book thing, right?
I don't remember if there was issues with that or
not
not.
against the rules, but I wore sunglasses for a large portion of my mission, and I realized that it was probably best not to because it gave off a Men in Black kind of vibe.
It did.
When you're driving, though,
You
you're not
wore
really talking to
sunglasses every
anyone,
day,
right?
and you never got called CIA on your mission once.
No,
Well, I'm saying JJ, he said he
Well,
never
that's
got
why I'm
called
saying I
CIA.
stopped.
Gotcha.
Oh, nice.
You guys have me cornered good there.
You ran for a pretty good time.
Would you get called anything different, while you were things that you can say on camera, I guess?
Yeah, I mean, they would say Mormon Mafia and things like that. Just because we weren't allowed to wear any kind of pins or anything they were really strict about our appearance.
Huh.
In fact, I think the mission president before us, if the temperature was at 80 degrees or below, you had to wear your suit.
Really?
And so only if it was hotter than 80 degrees, you didn't have to wear your suit. And so, yeah.
Okay. I propose a co-op game next.
Okay.
We can decide if we want to move forward with it or if we want to pick something else.
Okay, sounds great.
Oh, you need the motion plus for that.
Okay.
Actually, I'll trade you so you
Okay.
can have the one that actually has it built in. We had no restrictions on clothing. If someone wore long sleeves on my mission, so it was in Jamaica. If someone wore long sleeves, they would call them AP sleeves because you'd only wear them because you're trying to impress the mission president by wearing long sleeves.
Well, Jamaica's hot and humid though, right?
It is hot, yeah.
Yeah. And where did you serve?
I served in the Philippines.
Oh, okay.
So it was always short sleeves, unless you were in the office. Not because you're trying to impress the mission president,
Right.
but because the office had AC. So
Well,
it was
okay.
extra cold.
What mission in the Philippines were you in?
On this mission.
Okay, my dad was in the San Pedro, I think. Is what
Oh,
it's called.
okay.
It's like up by Manila, maybe.
South Pedro.
But I think it's like.
That'd have been south of where I was, about 2 hours or so.
Okay. Yeah.
So, what was your first Spanish lesson like?
In the mission or in the MTC?
Both. I guess before we do that, let me explain what the heck's happening right now.
Okay.
So, I think my controller might have issues right now. Because I'm not moving it at all, and I'm the blue guy.
Yeah, you're getting a lot of drift there.
Let's
You
just
try the other gyroscope.
Yeah, let's try that. Reconnected. Uh-huh.
Come on, Norman.
Sorry!
We should have made missionary me's.
That would have been
We
fun.
could have
Oh,
been Gordon
okay.
E. Hinckley, and then 2 elders.
Right.
I was gonna say, give me other me puns that are general authorities or missionaries. I want to hear them. Does that one just not work, period? Whoa. Okay. Let's try this one. Maybe we won't do this game. There we go.
Oh, there, yeah. Checking. You gotta lay it in a flat surface.
Yeah. Okay, so while this is happening, so we can waggle around these Wii remotes like idiots, basically. Oh my gosh. Maybe we won't do this one. I didn't realize that my...
We can't all waggle around the idiot's mission.
And most importantly, find the Triforce.
Wow. I guess all of my motion pluses are destroyed. We might need to pick a different game.
Okay. How did we get back?
We convinced the Wii U that there's a motion plus connected to my Wii remote, and then we exit. Well, that stinks.
And press the home button? And we started from here, right?
You can you?
Thought there was a restart button.
No, I was checking both. Can we click plus and... Okay. Once they're calibrated, we'll leave this game. Darn, this is one of the more fun ones.
The ultimate.
Okay, click quit. I think the only co-op one without a motion plus is Pikmin. That one's okay.
Okay. Pikmin it is?
Sure. And I honestly don't remember how to play this one, so we will get the explanation from the game.
Oh, fantastic.
Okay, MTC, out in the field,
Okay,
first
so
lesson.
Guessing you did the Provo MTC?
no, I went to Mexico City actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah. They had just opened as MTC about a year before I went there. So it was still pretty brand new, some construction on some things. But like honestly, I consider my first Spanish lesson of arriving in Mexico City and going through the customs and the person not speaking a lick of English whatsoever. And I walk up to them, I give them the little paper they give you to describe like what's going on in Spanish to the person, along with your passport and ID and all that stuff. And then they like look at the stuff, they look over, it say something to the person next to them, and then they look back at me, and then they just stamp my thing and then give it back. And then I said, gracias, señor, and it was a woman, and so I'm like, oh dang, I just called her a man.
Welcome to Mexico.
I know, yeah. Welcome to learning. I gotta learn this thing in soon, because I'm gonna be in the field in only 6 weeks. So.
Fortunately, you have enlisted the aid of its curious
Listen to Heavens of Pikmin.
Have any of us actually played a Pikmin game?
Nope,
No, I don't think
I have not.
I've played as him in Smash
Now let
Bros.
me introduce.
So, you and I are Pikmin. We hold it sideways.
Oh, like this? Okay.
I know we can click 1 and smack things, and little drops of nectar come out, and we get stronger if we get a bunch.
This is nectar.
Okay.
I guess the game will tell us.
Collect as many blocks of nectar as possible to get stronger.
So you still had like the TRCs, whatever they're called, like in the MTC,
Yeah.
the fake lessons.
Yeah, that was really fun. I don't know if they do the same thing in Provo where you go and they tell you you're gonna teach someone who is an investigator, but they turn out to be a teacher. like your night teacher, I think is what it was.
Yeah.
And so that first thing, it was definitely experience because you're like, you want to, you know, teach it to them and their native language and everything the best you can do, but you've just been learning it for a couple of days, and so you don't have much that you can say correctly, at least. Use a lot of gestures and try not to speak as much English as you can, just because obviously you're like, well, they don't speak English, and so they're not going to get anything if I say anything. But like the MTC there was like awesome. Like I'm so glad I went to Mexico City, just because one, I got to get that full immersion of just, you know, everyone was speaking Spanish, no matter where, like no other languages. It was straight up Spanish everywhere, and so it was cool whenever I got back into the customs in Los Angeles after my time in MTC, and the lady asks us, she's like, "Are you U.S. citizens?" And we're all like, "Sí," but we said it in Spanish. She's like, "Sí," and they're like, "Oh yeah, no, sorry, we mean yes," because we just said "sí" for like an affirmative for 6 weeks, and so it was drilled into our minds that was the answer, and so.
That was so MTC.
Yeah, it really is. But it, like we did it without even like noticing we're saying it. So.
Yeah. So were all the people in your district going to the same mission, or was it kind of spread out?
So I had my companion who went to the mission with me, and the same one, and we ended up being companions later, me and Elder Walkenfuss, and then everyone else was going in other places. Some people in Arizona, I think one person went to Oregon, Colorado. Only a few went to like Texas, and then I think one person actually stayed in a Spanish-speaking country. Like I think they went to Ecuador.
I had no idea. I thought like if you were serving a stateside mission, you just went to Provo.
Yeah. I thought so too, but I think they realized that the full immersion of going into a place like that, you might not get it as much on your actual mission, because I know people that go and serve Spanish-speaking in Iowa, but it's a lot more difficult to get regular speaking time than it is in Southern California, where half the population speaks Spanish.
Right.
So yeah, and then I guess my first lesson in the mission field was that night I got there, where I couldn't contribute a whole lot. I mean, you know, the thing, you're just kind of quiet the whole time, listening, trying to understand what the heck they're talking about. But it was good, and you know, I'm a Spanish teacher now, so like obviously I really like the experience of going through that, of learning. Which one am I? Am I red?
I was gonna say, okay, yeah, you're red.
Okay. And it's hard, and I tell my students that a lot. I'm like, you know, it's not easy to learn another language, you know, especially here in the U.S. whenever we all use English the whole time, right? And so depend on each other.
Yeah, so we share health. If anybody.
Oh, we all share it. Okay.
So like one person could get hit 6 times and the round ends, but it's just. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, you jump on top of it.
And so, yeah, and that person who we would teach that first lesson, they were an interrogator, or you know, someone who was speaking to missionaries for months, already, but then they ended up getting baptized like in my 3rd transfer. So,
really?
Yeah, it was pretty cool to see just the progress over that time period. So, yeah.
Dang, that'd be cool to see.
Yeah, it was. I mean, like, you know, there's times when you get to an interrogator and you're like, you already know it's all true. You already know that you should be baptized, but for some random reason you won't do it on account of us, but on something else that happens. And so, which, you know, in like, for a lot of people, they do kind of base their testimony off of, you know, whoever's teaching them, or maybe even a member that is fellowshipping them. And so it's good for them to have that kind of conversion experience for themselves to go through. Maybe not like Alma the younger, but
It's something for them.
something for them to hold on to.
Oh, JJ, one thing. I think you can click ZR. One of the triggers, I think, does Olmar's whistle thing, so we all go to you and then you start throwing us on enemies.
Okay.
Maybe I shouldn't have told you that.
I was gonna say, this is pretty awesome.
No! So when you did reflect on your mission experiences, any funny stories stand out that you want to share?
Yeah, there was one that happened in my secondary. Oh yeah, thanks for calling us over. Where we were distracting, trying to visit someone that had been. Oh, it was a member actually. We were trying to find a member because we had just moved into not a new area, but it was new to us kind of thing where we reorganized the boundaries for the ward. And so we were sharing with other missionaries, and so we're like, okay, well, you guys can take this part because you live here and it's closer to you guys. And so we were trying to find a member, and we get there, and we just see people outside, kind of talking or whatever. We're like, okay, so we're looking, and then it like escalates to like shouting, and they're like yelling at each other. So we're like, okay, well, you're weird, but I guess we'll just keep looking because we see crazy people all the time, being out in the street with homeless people and stuff, and so you can get accustomed to seeing that stuff. But it just got louder and louder, and so we're like, okay, maybe we should, head out because it's not feeling too safe. And so we start heading out, and they start fighting and are chasing each other. And one guy, he goes into like his van, and I guess he's a landscaper or something, and he pulls out a chainsaw and he starts revving the chainsaw, and we're like, what the heck? And so we get out of there, get into our car that's parked down the road a little bit, and we literally call 911. We're like, hey, we're at this apartment complex and this just happened. But they didn't even they got the call, and they're like, is this about the chainsaw and this? And we're like, oh yeah. They're like, okay, they're already on the way. Literally we hang up, and 8 police cars pull up to the place, and we're like, okay, someone just got busted.
Wow.
But yeah, I'm not hearing someone get dismembered or something like that, or it just, I didn't think I was gonna see any crazy stuff, but Escondido, California, you get a little bit of everything.
I was gonna say, when you're on the street just walking around talking to strangers for 2 years, doesn't matter where you go, you'll find something.
Yeah, and so, and both my brothers, they also served in California as well.
Oh, really?
My second brother, he served in Redlands, and then my other served in San Francisco, and so we've all seen kind of our share of how crazy.
JJ, you gotta help
can
us.
be.
We're poop.
Oh yeah, is that what he's doing? He's spitting us out.
You can't even summon me, yeah.
Oh, I am poop.
Let me smack you, just like in life. Someone's feeling like poop. You just hit him with a hammer.
So yeah, but I didn't serve in a foreign country like you guys. I mean, what were some things that you guys saw in Jamaica or the Philippines? You see people with weapons or anything walking about and.
Not walking about. My companion claims one guy pulled a gun, that's what I didn't see it. So.
Oh really?
Yeah.
He's like he was
when your companion says run, you run.
Yeah.
Right.
In Jamaica, it's a really Christian country.
Right.
So there's a lot of gang activity. So there'd be some areas where people would be like, missionaries, what are you doing out here? Get out of here! And
right.
But what a lot of people who are actually in the gangs would say, you guys are men of God. We're not gonna shoot at you. We're just shooting at the other guys.
Right.
I'm glad you guys are here.
In terms of crazy people, Jamaica doesn't really have mental institutions. So if someone was crazy, they're on the street.
Yeah.
With or without clothing.
Oh yeah.
There was one time when I was with my trainer, and this one guy just started following us, and you kind of get used to the quantity of crazy. So you're just we'll just let him pass. We'll just he'll just be in the background. And it's pretty common for like someone to see missionaries. They call them Normans in Jamaica a lot. They're like, hey, Normans, this, that, Joseph Smith. And they're like, yeah, we've heard it. But then we heard him say, Normans, this, that, Ezra Taft Benson. We're like, wait, what?
Ezra Taft Benson.
It's like, no, something's different here. And so we tried to like get a conversation out of this guy, but you know, he was pretty far out there. It was hard to talk to him, and he's just like babbling on like the most nonsense. Like, why did you know the name Ezra Taft Benson? He's like, hey, I got some chickens chasing after me. You guys gotta watch out for that. You want some garlic? Like, who's Ezra Taft Benson? How do you know him?
Just someone rambling.
That was a memorable one, but it's just so common. Just have someone tailing you. That's just like, just saying the most nonsense. And I always say this. I don't know why, but for some reason, the council of people that are antagonistic towards the church in Jamaica all decided that Joseph Smith was David Schmidt.
Really,
not
David.
Charles, not Chuck. It was David.
David.
Every single person said, "Hey, I know David Smith doesn't like black people." Like, why do you all agree on this? It's always David every single time. Never had that one explained to me.
I'm sure you had some pretty good food though in Jamaica. And the
I
Philippines, right?
do miss Jamaican food quite a bit.
You can't make it the same here.
You can have the same ingredients, but it's
But it's not the same.
a little different.
Right. Are there any restaurants around here that like?
There is one Jamaican food truck that goes around Salt Lake County. There is one Jamaican place in Park City that I've never been to. Ah! And then there's one in St. George that I have been to. Throw us at him. Ah! Oh, dang it. If we get hit once,
Oh my
dang it.
God.
Oh.
That's why I picked you guys up. I was like, okay, we're all.
There's one place in St. George called Papa's Got Jerk. The owner's from Kingston, it's the capital, and is very authentic, very good.
Oh yeah.
Someone else want to be Olimar?
I'll try it.
Go for it. It's all tap controls.
Okay. Yeah, so I'm just throwing Pikmin, right?
Yeah. What color am I?
I already forgot. Blue, probably.
Okay. And 1 is attack?
Yes, and 2 is jump. And so you can do like a jump attack, and I think you can jump on top of enemies and start hitting them.
Okay. Yeah, I really like jerk chicken. Like that's they know how to season their food.
It is
down
good
there.
stuff. Wait, how do you throw a bomb if you're Olimar?
I only threw 1 bomb, so I don't know how it works.
Do I just have to like throw enough Pikmin at it until they pick it up?
If you throw a Pikmin at it, I think it fused the bomb, and then they brought it to you.
Ah! It
The
didn't work.
Pikmin's there.
Oh well. I'll make more. So, let me ask you this. Why did you go on your mission? And did that reason change as you went out, or as you were on your mission
Oh,
longer?
that's a good question. So being originally from, like, spending most of my life in Pennsylvania. Oh, I'm the wrong guy. Not a whole lot of members out there. Like, they've kind of, I guess they've boomed the past little while because they got a bunch of temples there now. But I mean, which place doesn't have a billion temples in it now? I mean, just crazy.
Not Jamaica.
Yeah.
Real quick.
That's cool. You just hold it down?
Yeah.
Okay, got it. So I didn't have too many kind of like examples other than my dad. I did have some cousins that that are from out here in the West, from my mom's side, that they did go on missions and stuff, and so I had examples there. But I'm being the oldest of my family and the oldest of kind of like the members my age. I kind of knew I wanted to serve a mission since I was like a young kid, mostly because I heard experiences from my dad and you know, just seeing all the cool stuff that I would miss out on if I didn't go on a mission. I mean, I've always liked learning new things, and so like learning a language was really a plus for me if I could have done that, and so I'm really grateful that I did. And as far as like the main reason, I knew that the church was true, but I wanted to see how that could bless me for the rest of my life, like knowing that fact, because you know, you can kind of build your testimony off of other people and, you know, just go by fine in life. You know, you just come to church, you know, doing bare minimum and whatever. But until you really like go and you share it with people, that's when you really feel kind of like your testimony working, not only with yourself but, you know, through others, obviously.
Right. Yeah, definitely.
And so, oh my gosh, this thing is leaving.
Hold down one with the time.
Whoa. Well, gotta be depooped first.
And so then on the mission, you know, when you just see that kind of just play out whenever someone gets baptized, or even, you know, helping, like talking to someone on the street and just, you know, kind of making their day a little bit better, serving others even if they're not members, and then I guess just spending 100% of your day every single day, you know, dedicated to the Savior is just a really cool thing. And I hear a lot of people say like, really cool thing, grateful, but I don't know if I go again. I'm like, you know, yeah, I would definitely go again. And I've actually had some dreams of like out on the mission field again, you know, doing something or spending my time doing that. So
Had a couple of those dreams. Some are good and some very much aren't.
no, yeah, some are like nightmares. You're like, dang, I don't want to be living with this guy anymore.
My dreams are all like, what if my spouse became my companion?
Oh,
And
thank goodness I never had that.
that.
Yeah. And then as far as companions go, I felt like I got along with most of them.
Yeah.
Definitely the hardest was my trainer for me. Some people, you know, they say you either love your trainer or you hate your trainer, and I was one where it's like it was hard to get along with at the beginning.
Were most of your companions English speakers, or?
Yeah, well, they were all English speakers too.
Okay.
In fact, there was some that had a background, but you didn't learn Spanish from their parents, and so
Oh,
they
yeah.
were like learning with me. And like later on in my mission, I'm like, dang, I kind of speak a little better than you, and I've only been doing this for 8 months.
So do you feel like you had like a sudden gift of tongues experience, or was it really gradual?
You know, honestly, yeah, like there was a point where, especially in like my first couple of months, because I don't really feel like I got like a great hold of the language until maybe like 6 months, 8 months, and then I'm like, okay, now I can like teach this to other people. But in my first transfer, like, I just remember like we were at a door approach talking to someone, and my companion turned to me like, okay, now it's your turn to say something. So I like turned and like say something. I didn't really know what I said, but the person kind of like nodded their head and like, oh yeah, like kind of like I had just mentioned something resonating with them, or just like I'd spoken to them like in regular Spanish, you know. And so I was like, dang, man, this thing keeps following us.
I know. I thought I could throw it when it got away, but
Nice try, Mitchell.
it just plowed
All
through
of
him.
us.
Okay, get away from it. I'm gonna throw a bomb.
So do you have to turn it upside down to
I don't think so. I think
do
we're
damage
hurting
to
it. But
When it's not rolling is when you're able to hurt it.
So when it's rolling, we're
You gotta dodge. Yeah.
maybe we can get it to stop rolling if we throw a bomb.
The rock will get it to stop,
Oh, really?
I think.
Bomb doesn't do that.
And one thing that I heard a missionary say on them, like in my first area that resonating with me as well, is like, you know, even if I didn't serve, you know, speaking another language, I still would have had the gift of tongues in the sense of, you know, being able to say what the Spirit wants you to say in that moment, and something that will resonate with someone, even if it is in, you know, the same language that. Oh, we beat it.
We beat it, but still run away from the bomb that someone threw. That makes sense.
Oh, the bomb's still there.
Oh, yeah,
Oh.
never mind. Oops. Yeah, because I guess because my mission was in English.
Right.
I still had to understand Jamaican patois, but
Accent, I'm sure, is pretty. thick
so
too, right?
it's a thick accent, and the vocabulary is really different.
Oh, yeah.
And it's different on different parts of the island too. So there's a learning curve, but not nearly as much as learning a foreign language. But I would say that I never really put it that way, but I guess I did have like a gift of tongues experience because it was easier for me to understand scriptural language. Like I got to the MTC and that even before like, you know, receiving any teaching, the scriptures just seemed easier to understand right away.
No, yeah. And so, yeah, I'm really grateful for that language. I mean, it's what I do now for my job. Played a part in meeting my wife, and you know, I really like traveling. Like I've been able to go back to Mexico a couple times.
Nice.
And also to Ecuador. That's where my wife's from, and so
Clock ticks down to 0.
it's just being cool to not get scammed on things whenever you go travel outside of the country. It's like, wait, you're telling me it's worth this? Nah, it's like $5. I'm not paying that.
That is a very confidence boosting thing. We would Jamaicans would call it white man price whenever we went to a market.
white man price, yeah.
Where you just like you say you go to one person who's selling and you say, "What's that guy over there charging for?" And then they'll give you their price, and then you actually go up to them and say, "Like this guy says you charge
This.
Yeah." So did you have any funny door approach experiences?
Trying to think, funny door approach. Yeah, like, so one of the things kind of in the Hispanic culture is they're super nice, right? And so they'll give out their social security number if they have it on the out in the street. Like super open people, like really nice. I loved contacting Hispanic people, just because they were always so nice to us. I rarely get yelled at by a Hispanic person. Super easy to approach. Talk to you about pretty much anything. But because of that, we'd get a lot of referrals that were garbage, right? You know, we get like 20 addresses from a really zealous English missionary, and they're like, oh man, yeah, I'm hitting it out of the park, and we're like, yeah, like that happens all the time. Like they'll give out anything, and so we go by, and 90% there'd be no answer to the door.
Gotcha.
Maybe because they were working, or maybe just because you know they didn't really want to talk to you, but they don't want to tell it to your face, and so they'll just pretend they're not home, right?
Were these referrals from like other missionaries in your mission, or would you get a lot of referrals from Salt Lake?
No, yeah, it was mostly from missionaries in the mission. So like we would cover like an entire state, and and so like the missionaries, they would cover each individual ward in their area. If they talked to someone, they would you know refer them to us if they spoke Spanish.
Gotcha.
And I just remember one of the referrals. We go up and someone answers the door, and we're like, "Oh, great! Someone actually answered the door this time." But it was a kid, and they're like, "We're like, okay, is this person home?" And we say the name, and like, "Your parent, mom, dad, anyone home?" And they're like, "Let me go check." And then they come back and they're like, "My mom said that she's not home."
Yeah.
And so we're like, "Oh, okay, she's not home." Or like, "Oh, my mom's in the bathroom." And it's like, "Okay, all right, sounds good." And so, yeah, just like silly things like that. You don't get really too much people like trying to argue with you, or you know, people trying to tell you how wrong you are, or anything like that. I do remember one time we did have kind of a deep like doctrinal discussion about someone trying to disprove us in Spanish, but we were luckily with a member at the time, and so the member did most of the talking, which was kind of great. But it's like, you know, but other than like that one individual time, I can't think of any time whenever we would be in, you know, bashing discussions. If it was a Hispanic person, at least white people, like, you know, we love to argue, and so especially older retired people, they would like pull out their scriptures and be like, "Hey, I got a question for you." I'm like, "Oh, a question, or are you trying to save me here?"
It's like, can we talk about something we have in common instead of pointing out one scripture that we might disagree on?
Yeah.
Whoa. Okay. I don't remember how to beat this guy, but I'm assuming hit all the bulbous purple zits on him. Oh right, so I can throw you on him. Oh shoot!
No.
I forgot that he can roll and crush you. So it was pretty uncommon. So my areas were really spread out. Like one branch would cover like they're called parishes, just like the equivalent of states in Jamaica, basically.
Oh my goodness. Just one branch.
But Jamaica's still tiny. Like you could fit like 5 Jamaicas in Utah.
Oh, okay.
But it's still just like it was the church is fairly new there, and it's yeah, I don't know. It's young. It's still growing.
Pretty into voodoo and stuff like that, right? Like super superstitious.
Well, so it's mostly Christian, but you would have a lot of people talking about voodoo like it's like the biggest threat to their country.
Really?
Like there's more people that like believe in voodoo than actually like practice anything, I guess. What do they call it? Obia, that's what they call it. Beware the Obia Wickedom. But so all of our referrals, they wouldn't be from like other branches very commonly, because it'd be tough for like a Jamaican to get from one city to another pretty easily if there's just like a bunch of jungle and an expensive bus ride in between. So all of our referrals would be from Salt Lake, from very enthusiastic sister missionaries that get like someone who clicked on an ad online with the Book of Mormon in it
and put their information in it.
Yeah, and then they'd say like, I talked to this person on the phone and they said they love Jesus and they and I couldn't really tell what they were saying, but they live close to the mango tree. Do you know where that is? Oh my gosh, what does this person want? Do they want the missionary to stop? Like, no, they just want a Bible. Okay, great.
Yeah.
Will do.
Want some free literature.
Although it was kind of funny, one of the guys I lived with earlier on in my mission, his girlfriend served in Salt Lake, like in the Temple Square mission. So every once in a while, I would get a call from her and get updates. It's like, do you serve around this elder? It's like, yeah, I lived with him. It's like, oh my gosh, how is he doing?
Oh man.
Gotta call his girlfriend while he was sitting there moping on the other side of the island.
Oh yeah.
So did you ever train?
Yeah, I had one person that I fully trained, and then one person that I was just for
like the second half.
Just the first half, and then I left. It was my last transfer.
Oh really?
And so, cool experiences. Definitely learned a lot about teaching and preparedness and just kind of putting yourself in someone's shoes. And I guess really asking for feedback, because I kind of trained the way I wish I was trained, and my trainee, he probably would have liked to have been trained the way I was trained. So like, but even though I wanted things to be a little different, so it just kind of taught me to, a lot of humility, lots of preparedness for whenever I might have kids in the future.
It does help, I'll tell you that.
I mean, and I guess just something I'm still working on, like charity, like just being charitable towards your fellow man, your friends, and things like that. Because I don't know, I think sometimes I can get like a little too hard on myself, and so then I can take that out on other people, and so I'm like, no, I need to calm down a little bit, everything's okay, take a deep breath. And so my first one is definitely more of a challenge, but then my second one, it was a lot better. And personalities play like, a role in it as well, but
right.
But they were both good experiences, and I'm glad to have been their companions. In fact, I didn't know how much people actually fight in a mission until my mission president told me. He's like, oh, Elder so-and-so, he's like, you are awesome. I never get any phone calls from you at 10 o'clock at night saying you can't get along. I'm like, really? People do that? He's like, you wouldn't believe it. People are so, like, they can't get along with anyone. And I'm just
you were
like,
the elder that your mission president vented to.
Yeah, I was. At that one time, I guess. Because I don't think he mentioned it after that time, but yeah, just that one time he's like, I'm just so grateful for elders like you.
Wow. My first area, my trainer, his trainer was our zone leader, so his zone leader would vent to him all the time. He'd be like, you guys, I don't know why your area is just the only one where everyone doesn't absolutely hate each other.
Right. And that's another thing I feel like, you know, people in general, they have a hard time learning in life, you know, just getting along with people. I mean, in my work, and I see students, they can't get along with each other because of the like most ridiculous reasons. I'm just like, bruh, like you're in this classroom for not even an hour and you can't just, you know, be quiet or figure it out, you know.
Yeah.
And then I see like their parents, I'm just like, oh, I get it. Like, that's how they are. But like one of the main things I tell students, I'm like, you know, if there's one thing you can learn from an early age in life, it's how to get along with people and how to get stuff done no matter what. You know, if you can do that, that's like 90% of work right there. Just getting along with people around you.
Oh yeah. Like I think I especially feel that on a mission. Like there's just so many good things that happen if people like you. Like I mean, there's you know, you don't want to have to like care all the time about what people think. You're never going to please everyone, but like if you have an ability to be likable enough to like let people tolerate being around you, it just opens so many doors. Yeah, it really does. And you know, a lot of people, they'd be like, you know, I used to think the missionaries were like this, but you know, after, you know, talking to you, you're just normal dudes. And we're like, I mean, some people are a little different, but for the most part, we are really nice and we're pretty chill people. And so, yeah, just how we are as humans. Just. So you mentioned you were a little bit like more quiet, more introverted at the beginning of your mission. Did you feel like there were like, I guess, how did you work around that? Because I see a lot of people on my mission, like they're extroverts, they are built for talking to random people all the time. And I very much was not built that way. I didn't really, like I was functional, I was able to talk to people on my mission, but that wasn't really my strength even at the end of my mission. Right. Did you feel like you reached for other strengths that help you be a good missionary, or did you just kind of find ways to be the best at talking to people? So because I am kind of shy, like I've kind of gotten away from it, like as I've gotten a little more extroverted with the years and just the way my job is and everything. I used to like be really quiet and not talk a whole lot when I'm with new people. And so in my mission, it was hard to kind of, you know, go and contact someone or just ask someone how it is. And, you know, I still get a little anxiety when I have to make a phone call, right? But one thing that I learned is like a lot of people just need someone to listen to them. And so I really kind of developed that a little bit, you know, just like listen for things, for what people will say to you. You know, repeat things back to them so that you check for your own understanding, so that you can kind of understand where they're coming from. And, you know, just doing your best, because a lot of people are just doing their best in life. And so just kind of being that little kind of personable with them. It's like, you know, we're all human here, you know, just because have this tie and a tag doesn't mean that, or what is this? Tie and tag. Yep. Just because I've got that on doesn't mean, you know, I don't get sad sometimes, or you know, I get stressed or anxious, and so. Either of you want to be Olimar? Or you want me to keep going?
Swap you out if you don't want it.
Yeah, you can go for it. Right. I'm fine with this right now. And so. Another one, location. Like, I'm really good with the directions and stuff. Okay. Yeah. In fact, I knew the area before, so we whitewashed, or what's it called? Greenwash? Whitewash. We call it whitewash. Whitewash still? Okay. Even if you're training and whitewashing at the same time? Yep. Okay. You said whitewash training. Whitewash training? Okay, yeah.
We didn't have a word for that.
Yeah. So we whitewashed in as he was training me, and he was terrible with directions. And so I knew the area within like a week or so, and he was still struggling to figure out where, you know, where the branch president lived and things like that. Or like where our main investigator, I'm like, you know, you take this road right here. You know? Because we did a lot of driving, but is that how you usually got around? Yeah. For the most part, I would say it was half and half driving, half biking. Okay. Definitely my last area because it was larger, and so we didn't have any other choice but to drive
Gotcha.
an hour, like 100 miles a day. But other than that, yeah, we'd bike about 10, 15 miles or drive just a little bit and then go walking. Because you can't really contact people when you're in the car,
Find
so.
item.
But we did have something called the bike thing, where whenever I got into the mission, my MTC companion of all people got into a car wreck, and our mission like was getting into a car wreck like once a month. Like it was
Oh,
bad.
really?
Yeah, like people were so irresponsible driving. And my mission president tried for like the first 3 transfers, about 5 months of us, elders, sisters, please be safe, like driving out there, because our thing, and I died.
Whoops. That was my fault.
Be careful out there, because premiums go up, and it costs the church money, and so my MTC companion got into car wreck, and that was like the straw that broke the camel's back, and we all got an email that Monday, that P-Day, saying, all right, as of Monday, you are no longer allowed to use the cars. Everyone is on
Whoa.
bikes except for these missionaries. Like, and he listed like 4 areas.
Like the big ones are.
Like
Dublin or
YSA that would cover an entire state.
Okay.
Strangely enough, we didn't, even though we covered an entire state, but the YSA missionaries got their car. And so for that summer, my first summer, I was with my second companion now. We were walking out in the hot Southern California sun. And I remember one day, the whole day was literally, okay, we go to church. We got home from church because we walked. And then we got home, kind of not changed, but, rested, got some water. Like, all right, time to walk to dinner. And it was like 2 o'clock. So we walked to dinner,
Oh my gosh.
have dinner, and then, can someone hit me? I think I'm like stuck,
Oop.
thank you.
I got
In water or something?
And so after dinner, we were like, all right, time to walk home. And so we walked home, and that was our day. That was our Sunday,
Wow.
because we literally couldn't get anything else done because everything else was so far away.
That lasts to the end of your mission, or is that?
So the bike thing, I guess you could call it, that lasted, I would say, until I was about a year in, and then they got a little less restrictive.
Okay.
But I mean, even then, like, he kind of created a culture of just like, we have to be super, super, super strict about our miles that we would use on our car. And yeah, even come to think about it, there was one area that they're like, that it was like a walking area, but once they took missionaries out, we're like, we're covering half a state now. Like, it'll take us 3 hours to get from one place to another just on our bikes. And so can we get a car with a bike rack at least? And so then they capitulated and at least graced us with that.
Nice.
And that was the last time I ever had to bike a full ton on my mission. Because in my last area we drove a ton, but yeah. You guys, a lot of public transportation in your mission, I'm guessing?
No biking
Yep.
in my mission. They got rid of that right when I came in, so we were all public transportation.
That's
So
exactly how mine was. They had bikes. My mission call told me to bring money to buy a bike there, and then they stopped using bikes right before I got there.
And so, would they give you guys a certain amount of money each month?
It was included with like the grocery money
without
for
the
the
grocery
month.
stuff. Okay, that's how it was for us when our bike thing happened.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you get to ride in any jeepneys and that?
Every
Yeah,
day.
my dad loved riding in those
It
things.
was beautiful.
Is that the motorcycle?
No,
Jeep.
that's the buses.
Oh, okay. We had Toyota coasters.
Toyota coasters. That was the
That was
The
like
car
the
that everyone
it
had.
was like so Jamaicans, we would have taxis a lot. They were just like normal cars that people would just get registered to use as public transportation. But the coasters were like, it was like a van. Some of them were a little bigger, almost like a bus. They would seat 12, and I've been crammed in those where there was at least 25 people in them.
Oh my
It was
goodness.
just like they would. So it would all be rows of seats with no seat belts, just like the bench. And then there would be a bench on the right side, a gap to get to the farther back rows, and then one seat on the window on the other side. They would fill it up on the back row first, and then once the back row is filled, they would take this little cushiony plank and put it in the gap between the seat and the bench.
Yeah.
They'd fit in more
Nice.
people, but they would cram it, because like the more people you fit in there,
More money.
the more money you make. So
Heck
they
yeah.
would cram it as full as they could get them.
I'm sure those terrible and like rainy days and stuff like that. Like stink, like
Sometimes,
people
yeah.
stink or just sweaty.
It would actually, yeah. People were pretty sweaty. There was one sister on my mission that was just like the bubbliest, smiliest, like bounciest. Like, hi, I'm so glad to meet you. I'm a missionary. I want to tell you about this message. Like 100%, like inhuman amounts of friendly that I've ever met. I can picture her being in one of those, in between two really, really big sweaty guys, just like mushed in between their armpits, but she's still like
Super happy.
like squeezing up between their arms, like, hi, I have a message for you.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I never got to experience anything like that. Now that I've traveled a little bit more, I do think public transportation outside of this country is like really good compared to what we have. Like you can get anywhere in like a bus or public
For like $1.
Yeah, for super cheap.
Yes. We essentially don't have public transportation in the States.
No, yeah, it's really need it, but our economy is dependent on our cars and getting super far. And first you go to bowling alley, then you drive to Little Caesars, and then you go home and you forgot something in the store. I gotta drive to the store and I gotta get some gas now. I gotta go fill up my tank. Was it hard for you guys to maybe more so for you in the jeepneys to get accustomed to being at high speeds like in cars? Because my dad said that
Because there's no protection whatsoever.
yeah, there's no
Wait, how
protection.
fast were you going?
Like 35 or like not too fast,
Yeah, the vehicles there do go slower than they do in the States.
but they feel faster because you got no windshield or anything.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Oh my
It's
gosh. Wait, describe this for me. No windshield either?
Yeah.
You're almost hanging out of it at some points, right?
I mean,
on the roof. And
bus is generous. It's a tube with an engine. Like that's essentially what it is.
Oh my gosh.
yeah.
It was awesome.
We never had that issue because like a lot of Jamaican roads were like clay or dirt, and they'd just be so full of potholes that people just say like, yeah, it's the anti-theft. If someone tries to drive up to your place and steal something, they can't get away very fast.
Right.
So like, yeah, all public transportation was pretty slow unless you were like in Kingston, like in the big city.
Yeah, my dad said he got scared of driving on the highway after on his mission. He's like,
I
holy cow, I'm
believe
going
it.
so fast, holy cow. And you're like 50 miles per hour.
That's why I didn't like. I tell people so. My mission legitimately cured me of my fear of driving that I had before my mission started. I feel like if I served to the Philippines, I might have done the opposite then.
Yeah, there's no structure driving there, so it took me a minute to be brave enough to drive again in the States, just because I was like, I don't know if I know how to drive anymore.
Did you drive in a car at all while you were in the Philippines, or no?
I didn't drive. I was definitely driven around in cars. But
Okay, but never had the opportunity to.
no, they had me get a license.
They did have you get a license, but
Yeah,
you never
they had a
used
lot of the Americans get it just in case they would get called to the office.
Did you? What was the test like?
Non-existent.
Oh,
it. You just walk in, you got a policy.
I just had to wait for
They'll give it
10
to you.
hours at the DMV to get my picture taken, essentially. I think because I had an American license.
oh, okay.
Like, oh, you follow the rules back there, so nothing will be too bad over there.
There are no
Oh,
rules.
throw us on him. He's knocked out.
And he's down for a while.
He's close. One more time. Oh no, never mind. Where you said we can stop him with the rock?
I thought we could.
Maybe not.
Bottom horizontal.
To that nectar. Nice.
He's gone.
Any funny lessons you can think of?
Funny lessons.
Like that Utah, or it could be like his own conference district meeting something.
So, there was, when you learn a language, you get all these kind of things that you think you're saying the right thing, when you say something super hilarious. Every missionary's got something like that. So we're in my second area. We have a correlation meeting with the ward leadership. First time in a ward, because they're all Spanish branches at this point, except for like one or two areas in the whole mission that they're wards. And so I'm in a ward, and I got a completely full, Relief Society, Elders Quorum. They had Young Men's Presidency back in the day. So a lot of people in there, and we're telling them about this new lady that we're teaching, and her son was a young single adult. And so I thought I said that her son is a part of the young single adult ward, but I said adulteros solteros, which means young single adulterers. So yeah, he's a part of the young single adulterer ward, and everyone just starts laughing, including the guy I was with. He wasn't my companion, but he was one of the missionaries in the ward, and so he just starts cracking up. I'm like, what? Like, everyone's laughing at me, and they're like, oh no, we're not laughing at you, we're laughing at what you said. You're close. They're like, adultos solteros. I'm like, oh, young single adults, not adulterers. So that was pretty funny.
That just brought to mind something from my mission. I just in one of my areas, so there was 4 missionaries in the branch. The other guys, not my companionship, the other companionship was teaching some people like in a more of a ghetto inner city area, and they were describing the people they were teaching at ward council. They're like, yeah, this investigator's progressing really well. They're going to church. It's just the only thing that's holding back is her mom. Her mom is she's really into gangs, and then this guy's companion interrupts him. Is like, her mom's a thug.
Oh my gosh.
And then the young men's president at the time, he's like, that lady's my sister.
Oh my gosh.
And he looks directly at him. He's like, your sister's a thug. And he's like, yeah, you're kind of right.
True. She can be pretty rough. So, yeah, this thing's like, oh my gosh.
Young single adulterer.
Yeah.
I didn't have anything like that with members, so I was lucky. Because the members will call you out and pretend your lives with it.
Really? Yeah. Hispanic people are really nice with any mistakes in the language, and they really appreciate you just trying.
Yeah.
I think most people are like that. Like, if they see you're trying to communicate them in the language that they're speaking, and they know it's not your first, then.
So did you feel much culture shock?
No, in fact, well, the only culture shock I got was when I was in Mexico City. That I was like, wow, I'm in a whole new world kind of thing. Just because it is so different. Like, they picked us up in this kind of school bus looking thing, but other than that, everything else was different. You had people on the highway sitting in the back of the truck going 80 miles per hour, and you're just like, dang, are there no laws here, or did I just kill myself?
Whoops.
Yeah, maybe.
We just reached the end.
We're
It's
good.
10 seconds left.
Oh, we're good. Oh, we're timed. Oh,
yeah.
gosh.
So on that level, we were getting more time with every enemy we killed.
Oh, okay. And so, yeah, that was the only time I had really of shock. I will say, by the 5th or 6th week in the MTC, I was craving hamburgers a whole lot. So I was like, thank goodness I'm serving in the U.S. because I could not go without mac and cheese or a cheeseburger.
I was the same way, where I was having a breakdown on P-Day 3 weeks in, and I was like, I'm so tired of rice. Just give me something. And so I literally prayed that I'd get to eat something like a burger, and that was the only day in the MTC that they made American food. They made burgers that day, so I had 3.
Yeah, MTC food is even in Mexico City, it was kind of rough just because a lot of it is cafeteria food, and even they had Costco pizza for us too.
Really?
And I had never had Costco before out being from Pennsylvania, and so
ours was way better than cafeteria food.
yeah, I hear Provo MTC's got really.
Ours was in Manila.
Oh, in Manila.
It wasn't cafeteria food. It was real catered food. It probably had the best food out of all the MTCs.
But you were
I was just tired.
too
of
stressed.
rice.
Yeah. Yeah, Provo MTC. It's like, it was all cafeteria food, but it was like, it was good stuff.
Right. And the chocolate milk is really good. Like, it's the BYU.
Yeah, it's the
Chocolate milk,
BYU
right?
Creamery
Okay.
milk.
Yeah, we got that at BYU Idaho. It's all right.
Wait, did they have like the same catering stuff? Did you have like, did you go to the cafeteria there a lot? I should say.
So cafeteria time was it was like a specified time. There wasn't like a place we could just go and like grab food whenever we wanted or
okay.
anything like that. Is that how it is in Provo?
It depends on what meal plan you purchase. Some people can go unlimited. Some people have a certain amount of times a week.
Are
they
you
can go
talking
in.
BYU or the MTC?
MTC.
Oh, I was talking BYU.
Oh, yeah.
What is it like at the MTC? I think there were meal times, but I was there during the summer when there was like a record amount of people at the MTC at the same time.
Okay.
So there were meal times, but they had to spread them out so much that they probably overlapped a little bit.
Okay. No,
That's
yeah.
probably
The
not
only
good
time we
water.
could ever get food is if we went to the store and bought some food
Okay.
there with like pesos. Or...
So do you have a best or worst meal appointment food you had to eat experience?
Yeah. Surprisingly, I didn't get. Oh, I need to help you with that. I'm trying to figure out what this guy's doing.
Okay, gotta hit Papa Zits.
Best food, too many to count. Like Hispanic food's my favorite food now.
Yeah.
Like I love Mexican food. I love any food in South America. Guatemalan food, like it's all good. Like they all know how to season. They all know how to cook their meat. Soups are really flavorful. Like that's one thing I got home. I'm like, I don't know if I can marry someone from my own culture. Like I need this for the rest of my life. And thank goodness my wife, she's from Ecuador, and she makes some pretty good stuff.
She has the gift.
Yeah. I mean, it kind of comes with the territory. But one of my worst though was so in my last area where we were driving a lot. We were kind of out in the boonies of Southern California, and so a lot of poor people. You know, just barely getting by, living in shacks and things like that. In comparison to like, you know, these people in these multi-million-dollar houses in some areas. Even in the same area, you know, the same ward, you have people living in rocks or people living in these multi-million-dollar houses, and so really kind of weird to see the difference just like from one day, like in the same day in the morning there this. They usually made really good food, but this time they had just freshly killed a chicken that morning, and then they cooked it that day, and I thought that would make it taste real good, but it didn't.
Oh.
Like the chicken must have been like mad or something, and it was just the toughest piece of a chicken I've ever had in my life. And the broth was okay, but like the chicken and the texture of it, it just it did not sit well with me.
You finish it, or did you find a way out of it?
I think I ate the broth and most of the chicken, but I couldn't finish it.
Okay.
My brother's got way crazier stories of stuff, but you know, I was kind of blessed with that. I think it's because my parents said I was going to serve in Africa on my mission, and so so God's like, no, I'm not going to give him those kinds of trials on his mission. He'll have really good food for most of it.
And I really doubt I'm ever going to get this guy as a guest, so I'm going to share it. My the priest corps advisor in my ward growing up, he served in Uganda. Didn't have like a gross food experience, but he did have one family he visited that owned a sweet potato farm. And so they just had a harvest, and they were like, please eat my sweet potatoes. We have so much in excess. We got to give you some. And they gave him like 3 sweet potatoes as their meal, just sweet potatoes. And he's like, that's so great of you, thank you. And then he brought out another plate of sweet potatoes for them to start eating. And he's just like, I don't think I can do this. I don't think I can eat anymore. And they just kept bringing out more and more.
Gosh.
So the last time they brought out a set of sweet potatoes, he decided, I'm not gonna eat this batch. I'm just gonna wait for him to go back to the kitchen, and I'm just gonna throw it out the window.
Right.
Because in the way he described it is that in Uganda, a lot of windows were like Jamaican windows, but there's no glass. It's just, you could have a screen, but this window didn't look like it had one, and there's like rebar surrounding it. That would be like, oh, that's a bomb, get away from it. And darn, I was stuck, sorry. So he's like, I'm gonna throw the sweet potato out the window because I just can't eat anymore. And wait for him to go, but I didn't want to be so polite to him. So as soon as the guy went to the kitchen, he had perfect aim. He threw it right out the window, and he heard a loud crash because it turns out there actually was glass in this one window in Uganda.
Oh wow.
So the guy came running out of the kitchen. He's like, "What happened?" And he just saw the shattered window, and he had to explain. He's like,
I threw
a sweet.
I threw this food you gave me out the window.
Oh my gosh. Dang, that must have been an expensive window if there's not a whole lot of windows.
Yeah, I don't
out there,
know.
too.
That's honestly so fantastic. Because then you have to explain.
Oh yeah. It's like I didn't want to eat your food, but there's just so much. Did you get overfed a lot on your mission?
Oh yeah, that's kind of like the thing. Like,
Yeah.
you cannot have breakfast or lunch if you want to survive that dinner.
That is.
kind of thing.
I told people it's like I don't particularly care about like culture, climate, anything. The only condition I have for my mission is I just can't have like a Hispanic mother feeding me because I'm so skinny. Just stuffing me because I did not have the capacity to eat a lot of food before my mission.
I was fed way too well on my mission. I gained some weight.
I was gonna say, did it show?
Yeah, well, once we started biking and everything, I kind
came
of
off.
I kind of melted it off. But,
Okay.
So, but yeah, I'd say the most out of shape or like large fat
Heaviest.
I've ever been was when I was a greenie in my
Okay.
first area, just because I had to eat everything. Because yeah, if you don't eat it all, it's like, yo, you didn't like my food, and then they get all upset and
So they pile more on your plate when they see that.
oh, it's like, oh my
Uh-oh.
gosh,
I tried to throw us over the wall.
threw us right into.
Oh no, there's more of them.
Just get away. Just go away. They're gonna blow up.
Oh, we did it.
Run.
Wait, run.
I think I start rolling after us.
Oh, yep.
Yeah, I want to say I threw up 10 times on my mission due to,
What?
due to being overfed.
Really?
Yeah.
Like during the meal or like just when you start walking
like,
after?
Like in there, like I'm eating.
Oh, no.
I'm eating, and then I'm like, can I be excused to the bathroom? And I get in there, I'm like, dang, I'm so full, and then I just throw up, and I'm like, dang it. And then I go back and I have to eat more because I gotta finish my plate.
That would be the toughest thing for me.
But yeah, it was definitely a different challenge. I mean, it could be worse. I could have been fed not so great food on my mission. And now I feel like it's harder for missionaries to get fed.
Post-COVID.
Yeah, post-COVID,
No, I didn't think
just
of that.
because of roles being different or whatnot. But I wasn't even that much of a picky eater before him. My dad, he was really picky, and so when he went to the Philippines, he like got broken of a lot of things.
Yeah.
But to this day, he will not like eat rice out of his own free will.
Really?
Yeah, he's not a
I was gonna
rice.
say I still love rice.
You love rice.
It took a minute, but by the time you gotta eat it right, and by the time I figured that out, then
Yeah, you gotta season it. You gotta eat it with right kind of combination of food and.
seasons.
Uh huh.
No, you just gotta put stuff on top.
Oh yeah, that too.
You mean seasons?
No, like chicken and potatoes.
Yeah, chicken,
Okay.
potatoes, put things on top
Soy
of it.
sauce. Yeah.
Because Jamaican rice and peas, that is
You just don't.
very
eat
seasoned.
Yeah.
You don't eat it plain. That's the thing.
Okay.
Yeah, like don't just put it in a bowl of water and then cook it that way. Like it won't taste like much of anything.
You gonna go off the edge?
Yeah, it did.
Oh, there he goes.
So, yeah, and I rice is pretty good food. Plus it's super cheap too. Like you can get a big thing of
Yeah.
20 pounds at Sam's for like $20 pretty much.
I think 20 pounds of rice would last me like 20 years.
No, yeah, our bag of like, and we eat it like a couple times a week, and
Uh-huh.
it's still like halfway full. So I think we got that thing back in November. So
We did it with oats once though. We got 10 pounds of oats. Last us 3 years. We just barely finished it.
oh wow.
Oh.
Yeah.
Here, yeah, throw us on top. Oh, the Wii remote's made that sound. Did you, when you got trained, did you have like the 12-week program? Did you have like watching the district and stuff like that?
Yep, we had 12 weeks.
Okay.
In fact, my mission was just north of where they filmed the district, I guess, 2 with the San Diego area. The good
Oh,
one.
The second one?
Yeah. No, I wasn't.
You only
I
had the
filmed
first
it, but-
district?
Wait, maybe I did just have the second one.
Well, okay, let me ask you this. Do you know what I'm talking about when I say he broke it? You only watched the first one.
Wow.
Man,
What?
I had no idea. Yeah, there's a
The one
second
in
district.
Texas? You only saw the one in Texas?
I don't remember much about it. I recognize their faces.
Do you remember the trainee in the first one was Elder Walking Horse? I remember that because a lot of kids in Jamaica would pronounce my last name Wakan. It's McCann.
Oh, yeah.
And then, you know, the elders being elders just kind of stretched it a little further, and I was known as Elder Walking Horse for the longest time.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I was not a fan of that first one, the district one. I'm like, they definitely made the second one for a reason.
Them learning what they needed to do.
Yeah. But,
No, these ones are mine.
yeah, everyone's like,
Has been found an item.
was in love with that Marino. The Marino guy. He's like everyone's crush. Except one of my teachers in MTC, she liked Christensen. She's like, cause he listens.
That was the blonde guy, right?
Yeah, the blonde guy. She's like, cause he listens. It's like, Moreno doesn't listen. Like, oh yeah, it's true.
Oh my god.
Oh, wait, what am I?
Thank you. Man, you're missing out. But now we just gotta. I never thought I'd say this, but now we gotta watch the District 2 just for entertainment.
I refuse.
I watched it for entertainment.
Yeah, that's
it's
what I
pretty
did.
good. I mean, mostly because of like nostalgia for me.
It was just
'cause I've
watching a
seen-
reality show.
Yeah.
I want to know. I want to look into like how much of it was staged, because I'm sure it was like real people, but you know, there's always a director in the background and a boom mic that says like, "Can you say that again for the microphone?" Like
Right.
it's not like 100% on the spot, because it would never be that quality.
I don't know. They were pretty good missionaries.
I believe it.
And I think they might have set it up where that district was like maybe like the top missionaries all seasoned.
It could be.
I think they did that for sure.
Did you ever watch The Safety Zone? Like that came out after you got back home.
Terrible. I saw a safety zone.
Oh, you did? Because they
bike riding and
they used my mission for like some of the electrical safety and like just street safety sections of it. And the director there, like he would have people walking through a market, and they wanted to give an example of like how to not behave when you're just out in the middle of a street where you like look like a scared tourist, like walking around. I don't know how he described it. I just remember I thought it was the funniest thing where one of my friends on the mission, he was asked to be the one of the scared missionaries that were nervously walking around the streets, and then the director said, no, I don't want you. I need someone more scared, and he pointed to this other elder across the room.
Oh my gosh.
And that elder's just like,
Me? Throw me at him. Ah! I can't get over that. You didn't watch the District 2.
I might have. I just don't remember that there was 2 of them.
Yeah, I wasn't the biggest fan of the first 12 weeks.
My trainer he would say, "This is our 12-week video. You watch it. I'll take a nap. Let me know when it's done."
Yeah.
That's almost training. Did your mission president allow you to watch the mission?
Just so the movie Meet the Mormons that had come out recently when I was on my mission, and so we were allowed to see that and share that with members.
My mission president chose a Christmas film every year.
Oh, a Christmas one that you guys would watch?
We watched The Grinch.
Oh,
And
The
he
Grinch.
regretted it halfway through. He was like,
In English, like you guys would watch?
in English, yeah. And he's like, I forgot half of this stuff was in this movie.
Oh. Yeah.
Oh man. My mission president had like a list of approved movies, so there'd be a lot of elders that would just watch a movie every P-Day.
Oh yeah. No, we couldn't really watch too many movies. Yeah, mostly any movies that we'd see would be with like
something on the church website.
so, something on the church website. The Testaments, we'd watch a lot of the Testaments.
Okay.
Joseph Smith movies. Oh, we did see T.C. Christensen movies a lot. Yeah.
Oh, really?
We
Okay.
did see. Yeah. So we saw what movie is that called?
17 Miracles.
Yeah, we saw those.
Ephraim's Rescue.
The new one was, I think, Cokeville Miracle.
Oh, okay.
That had just coming out.
Man, I have a tough time with that movie.
Yeah, it's pretty rough. But
That sounds like the name of a Studio C sketch that they would make about 17 Miracles.
yeah.
It is a tragic but incredible story, but it's, you know, done by a low budget member of the church cast that I see like members of the church have a hard time portraying villains.
Yeah, we do.
And I met one of the people that was actually like one of the kids that was involved in that event, and they described the story, and that like opened my eyes to like, wow, this story is really incredible. But I had a tough time with the movie where the villain like sets down a calculator and he's like, I just mathematically proved how I can kill myself and come back to life.
Yeah.
And everyone awkwardly stares at him on the other side of the room.
Cool.
That's neat. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Anyone else want to be all along?
Good.
I'll try it again if you want.
Go for it.
Any miracles that you encountered on your mission that you'd want to describe? If not, like they're very personal ones, but is there something that comes to mind you'd like to share?
Yeah, I mean, you know, anytime you can find an investigator out of nowhere, you know, that's like a miracle. Or like, you know, they'd always call it 8 o'clock hour miracle hour, because, you know, it's like you don't want to be outside, but you're outside and you show your faith, you know, God will provide, kind of thing. More often than not, you would just prove your faith, and not a whole lot would happen, but you know, every now and then we get a cool experience around that time. I just think like the coolest thing was just seeing someone go from not being a member of the church to then being able to be sealed like to their family. Like that's just.
You were able to see that in the course of your mission?
I didn't. Well, they had gotten sealed like a couple months after I had finished my mission.
Okay.
Because so we taught them for a while, and then I got moved to a new area, and then they got baptized like a couple months later. And so it was cool to just see the progression of that, you know, them saying, you know, like, struggling with coffee, or, you know, I have this issue, or, you know, I struggle with this part of the testimony, to go to, like, now they're, you know, God members. And,
Yeah, that's incredible.
yeah. In fact, one of the sister missionaries that taught there got married to one of their sons. And so,
Really?
yeah, it's like, oh, that's interesting.
Remaining.
How would you say a mission changed you?
Put life in perspective, really. You know, once I left the mission, the testimony really was mine. And so I'm like, you know, no matter what happens, you know, always gonna stay faithful. You know, I've seen a lot of people since, you know, like either leave the church or become inactive, or, you know, they just doing their own thing in life. I'm just like, you know, you give up 2 years of your life, and then you don't let it change you, or I guess you let whatever the world says affect you so much. And so,
Yeah, it's rough seeing that.
yeah.
I've had a couple not companions, but just people that like I served around. That I was good friends with on my mission. Just,
Yeah, and then they choose their own path, and that's life. But you know, it taught me a lot of things. You know, how to talk to people. You know, keeping things in perspective, being patient, growing up. You know, felt like a lot of people in college had not grown up at all. Not because they didn't serve a mission, but you know, just because they still wanted to go back to how they were before their mission. And so it's like, you know, but definitely super grateful for going on a mission and for having that experience.
Polymorph got an item.
I got a box.
Wait, what?
You guys opened all 4 of the other boxes in the time it took me to open one.
Oh.
Yeah, I know. It was like I kept like twirling around or something. So it's like,
I've never actually beaten the Pikmin game on this. I just know like the very end of like the Zelda and Metroid ones. There's big bosses you fight, but I don't know what the end of this one's like.
Does the Metroid one also require Motion Plus?
It does, and that's probably the best one. It requires Motion Plus and a nunchuck. I'm gonna get those fixed. Open them up, see what's going on. But that's unfortunate because I like those ones way better than the Pikmin one. I don't know what happened. Oh, you have the whip one.
Yes.
Kind of forgot you can charge it.
New Pikmin is on. New Pikmin is on. Polymorph is on.
Oh my gosh. No nectar, no hearts. Ah! I don't know how you avoid this guy when he dashes at you.
Next Pikmin is on.
You do.
Just gotta get him from here. What do you do? Just go by his tail, I guess. Darn. No!
Are there any other ones of the competitive modes that we can play without the Motion Plus?
The competitive ones, yeah.
Yeah. Do we want to do that to end it out?
Sure.
okay.
Change of pace.
Thought we could finish the story mode, but I don't think we would be able to in that time.
It's all good.
Okay, I'll let you guys choose. So, Luigi's Mansion 1. One person's a ghost. He's invisible to the other people on the screen. He tries to sneak around and touch the other players. If he can get them all at the same time, then he wins. All the players on the screen, they have flashlights. If they point the flashlight at the ghost, then he starts getting damage. You can tell if the ghost is near when your controller vibrates. That one's pretty fun. Other one's Animal Crossing. I think that one might be my favorite. The guys on the screen go around trying to collect candy. The more candy you're holding, the heavier you are, but between the two players on screen, you have to hold a certain amount of candy, while the person with the gamepad controls 2 people, one with each joystick, and they try to catch you.
Oh, okay.
How fast is the ghost one?
It's 5 minutes at max, but I like almost never reaches that time limit. It's probably like 3 minutes.
Okay, I was gonna say, do we want to play around the beach?
Let's do it. I'll be ghost first and show you what the ghost can do. Hey, get back here. On that one. No. No!
Yes. default guest B.
You are welcome to do that. I found mine. This really dates when I got the Wii U. So when you'd see rage faces online.
I mean, I think it just dates the Wii U in general, not just when you got it.
Yeah.
Roll the Wii remote sideways.
Okay, so for you guys, yeah, hold 2 to sidestep so you can face the same direction while you're moving. And losing my voice. 1 turns on your flashlight. Your flashlight has a limited amount of battery. So if you run out, you're helpless until you get a battery, and just getting one off the ground replenishes. So you can't see me. Your remote will vibrate when I get near. It vibrates more intensely when I'm even closer. So I'm completely invisible for you unless I hold A, then I move faster and you can see me. I can also do this thing. If I hold these buttons and that meter fills up all the way, I'll send out like purple circle darkness thingies, and if you touch them, your flashlight goes out. So someone's remote's vibrating. I don't know who's who. But you guys gotta communicate. If you can tell I'm near you. Or just stay completely silent. That works too.
Maybe it's our strategy.
Ah! Yeah, there's
Battery
like
top right.
Okay.
Oh, and if I do that darkness thing, it breaks all the batteries on screen.
Can you go through walls?
No, I can't. So you can corner me. That's something.
He's in the left.
There may be something I don't know about this game. Did your remote vibrate?
Yeah.
Because I very much was not on the left.
Oh.
Oh, hey. Bloop. So last thing about this game. So Luigi's dead. And you don't have a flashlight. So I'll just... Wait, you came back. Oh, you have lives. Oh, okay, this is a little more difficult than I thought. Because this is best with 5 people. That's what all these games are meant for. It's 4 on 1.
Left.
Oh, no. So once one of you runs out of lives, I guess, you're passed out on the ground, and the other person can revive you by shining the flashlight on them for a while.
Yeah, just stay away from him.
Well, you want to rush towards me when I'm doing that. You can stop me.
We weren't gonna get there in time. We can't really
Okay.
get there fast.
There's a battery in the bottom right. If you're gonna go get it, you're gonna go get that battery in the bottom right. Yes.
No!
Okay.
Ah!
I will take the battery.
Oh, get out of here. Oh, dang it. Computer got me. So I'm down to 65 health. That's my health in the top left.
What are they, the little thing? Vibrating. Vibrating.
What are what little things?
Oh, these guys.
Left.
What are they?
No! I got him.
So it's meant to be 4v1, so those computers just kind of take place of the two other players. So they're helping you. If I touch their flashlight, they'll hurt me, and they've cornered me a couple times. If you walk past them, they'll turn their lights off, but you can just sneak past them.
He's bunny.
So if you want to revive him, he has that heart. If you shine your light on him...
Don't take his bait.
Oh, okay, so that's the super battery. If you touch it, you are...
Wait! What about me?
You revive him really quickly, too. But you're also vulnerable.
I got it.
Okay, it's really fun being the ghost in this one. So that purple thing that happens when I hold the triggers, and then if you hold A, you run, but we can see you.
Okay.
What did you do for fun, like on P-Days or something?
Share soccer, one thing.
Yeah.
Hikes, lots of places to go hiking in Southern California. Eat, liked eating, even though it was really expensive.
Do the missionaries have like a place to eat out all the time?
Yeah, there was In and Out. I mean, a lot of people liked
Okay.
In and Out. Oh, okay. And other than that, like any place you could get a. Have you ever had a California burrito?
What makes those different?
So
I've had burritos
meat,
in
so it's like-
California.
yeah, so it's a steak burrito. And then you have guacamole, fries.
Ooh. You're doing a very good job of freaking us out. Oh, I had no idea you were there.
He's stuck in the bottom.
Is he?
No, dude.
Oh.
What do I say? Guacamole. Oh my gosh.
He's got to be cornered, right?
Yeah, he's cornered up here.
Ah!
You burned me. Oh my gosh.
Oh,
This thing got me.
I didn't even see him there.
So I say
Top
meat,
left.
meat fries,
Uh.
guacamole, cheese, and sour cream. It's
Okay.
really good. Yeah, if you ever see it on the menu someplace, you should try it.
Bottom.
Tried to run fast,
Oh.
but
Right. He's by the battery.
You get it.
how do I get someone again?
You just have to touch them without.
Why are you
know,
doing
Like that.
Yep. Get away. And then after you grab them, you can carry them for a little bit. Because like when people need to be revived, it's easier if there's like
He's by me.
a lot of directions. Oh shoot, that you could come from instead of just two.
Oh, but then
Oh,
I
Oh.
got you.
You gonna try another round? Now you're used to it.
I'm good.
Okay.
I'm good. Thanks, though.
Any other stories come up that you found in your browsing?
I think I've touched on everything pretty
Yeah.
much. I mean, just really, it was perfect for me because I was able to get both the, foreign aspect of learning the language, visiting members who were, from different parts of the world, eat the great food, but still, was able to have pretty good bathrooms and in and out and all kinds of great stuff.
Ow. Darn.
Oh my gosh.
Mine didn't vibrate at all. Now it's vibrating now that I'm dead. Oh, there he is. Somewhere
This is
close
taking
by.
forever.
I know, it takes a long time. You gotta watch out. Nice. Get the battery. I need
Where's
it.
it at? Oh,
Right there. Nice. Oh, you got it. You can finish.
I guess.
It's so close. Nice. Now get out. Get away from the circles. You gotta let go, JJ. Oh. What? Oh, I wasn't even thinking about that. Run, run, run. Dang it. I'll get the super battery. That'll. Watch out for him coming from the other direction.
Oh my gosh.
But that destroys him real quick. Alright. Time it is. 7:20.
Time for one Animal Crossing?
One Animal Crossing. JJ, you want to be the...
No, I think you need to be it. If you're
Okay.
controlling
But
two
I
characters
have
at once,
I have practice doing this. That's the difference. It's kind of a disadvantage if it's one person controlling the two without any experience.
Yes.
Well, I guess we're getting close to finishing up. What would you say to someone who's thinking about going on a mission?
Do it. I mean, if you're doubting whether you'll be able to learn a language or be able to talk to people, if you can, I think, there's only so much good that a mission can do for you. Like it only can help you out with so many things in life, meeting new friends, life experiences, showing your gratitude to God for the life he's provided you up to this point. And you never know, it can help you find, a career that you're looking for, someone that can help you get into it, or, a spouse or anything, Did that just die?
I don't know what that was.
Mitchell, what is the goal of this?
Okay, I won't attack you for a second. So there's those trees that have buttons in front of them. If there's 2 buttons, you both have to sit there, and then all the candy falls out. You click 2,
we're just
you pick up
getting
candy. The more candy you hold, the heavier you are. My guys with the fork and knife are trying to capture you. If I touch you, and I can tackle, so I have a little bit of an advantage, then you lose your candy, and if I touch anyone 3 times, then game's over. So if you see me chasing
anyone.
you share health. So if you see me chasing you, you're gonna want to drop all your candy, because you can go back and pick it up later.
What's the point of having candy?
To win,
You
right?
win if you collectively are both carrying like 30 or 40 pieces of candy, something like that. No, stop! Where are you? That's it. So you can go back for that candy. If I capture you, the candy you're holding is gone. But you're faster than me if you have no candy. Bah! No! Oh, dang it.
Oh my gosh.
There we go.
I can't believe you controlled both of those characters.
Yeah, that's.
I have the
that's
ability
crazy.
to move my eyes around like a chameleon. No, just kidding. The I don't know. I just got practice doing it, I guess. But like I honestly I don't really like look at the characters individually unless I'm really close to one of you guys. If I can only see a chunk of the screen, so if I spread out farther, I can see more of the map, and then I just try to
So
zero in
the
on
key
one
is
of you
to not
guys
stay together.
until you figure out somewhere specific you need to go. Now you can see my face, so you can tell if I'm looking up at the TV or not.
All right.
Let's see. Not that way. There's one.
Can we go in the water?
I don't think so.
Elephant is caught. 2 chances left.
Wait, I like that. Just what you were saying earlier. I'm sorry, I'm distracted by
That was good.
by the game. I think a mission really did it brought changes in my life that I didn't expect. Like my current job I got because I was a referral from one of my friends on my mission. That's why you drop it all, JJ. You get rid of all the candy.
4 chances.
I gained the confidence to ask my wife out because I went on a mission and developed a sense of self-worth. My fear of driving was cured. Where are you? Gained the courage to choose the major that I did because a lot of my mission friends actually ended up in computer science. Oh my gosh! I see like the whole map. Why can't I find you? There you are. I'm just glad there's no candy around. Drop it. Drop it. I dare you.
No.
Stay on the run, I can get the candy.
No!
Go get it. Oh,
If you press 1, you drop candy too.
just the one.
Yeah, so
Oh my
you're
gosh.
gonna, if you see me chasing you, you're gonna want to drop a ton of candy because you're way faster than me if you're not holding candy.
Okay.
One more round and then we call it good.
Okay. Sounds good.
All right.
What do the coins do in this game?
They're worthless because I bought everything. They're like little extras that
What
know
did
how
you
like I showed
buy?
like the plaza at the beginning
Yeah.
with it like populates it with a bunch of
Junk.
icons from the different games, and I got everything, so it doesn't matter anymore. I don't like that. The controllers, I can hear your controllers vibrating every time you pick up a piece of candy. I just feel like I'm constantly failing. There you are.
He found you. He already knew where I was.
So you gotta drop it. Yeah, there you go. Now you're way faster. And you can come back and get it later, but the candy disappears off the map if... Oh, he touched you.
He's
Oh,
surrounding me.
I don't like that. I don't like that. Dang it. Yeah, this one's crazy with 5 people playing. I've even played it with 6 people, where like the people with the gamepad, like 2 people control it. No, no, no!
Yeah!
Ugh.
Take that. You're no good at this one.
Now you guys got it down. Well, any last words about mission stuff before we conclude?
One of the greatest things you can do. For sure.
I agree.
Amen.
That was Ties and Tags. Thanks for being our guest. We really liked having you here.
Yeah, for sure.
We'll do this. You know, we might not do this next week.
I can't do the next week.
Okay, we'll do this some other time. But thanks for joining us. If anyone's actually here, no one said anything in the chat. Oh well. See ya.